FC Porto 3, Manchester United 3, a game that was a total roller coaster ride, with Bruno Fernandes getting a red card and Harry Maguire stepping up to give Manchester United a late equalizer that brought them back with a point. It was a must win game for Eric Ten Hag to keep the Ten Hag out agenda at the bay. Let's break down the game and see how it goes.
So, welcome to Football Pundit, and without any further ado, let's get started.
Now, United started the game on the strong front with a goal at the 7th minute from Marcus Rashford and a goal from Højlund at the 20th minute. They were dominating the game in the early stages and they were rewarded with both of those goals. You see here, Marcus Rashford, I think it was a superb goal from him. I think his confidence is coming back. He is looking at the player that he was a couple of seasons back, where he could dribble past players, he could take them one-on-ones, even though I do agree to a point where it was a keeper's fault and he could have done better, at, at least for both of the goals for Rashford and Højlund. But still, you cannot take away the effort and the dribbling skills that Marcus Rashford showed in the first goal. So you see here, he dribbles past a couple of players here, he takes down one of them, and then he tries to shoot it at the near post. It was a mistake from the keeper, but still, the way to give him the ability to drive through a couple of players and to make that chance and space for him, I think you have to give credit for Marcus Rashford. And it started United on a very strong front. This was Marcus Rashford's fourth goal of the season. He has one in the Europa League, two in the Carabao Cup, and one in the Premier League. And just to put that into context, he has more goals than Vinicius Jr. Now, can you believe that? I think he is hitting good form now, and I think if Manchester United or Ten Hag continue to play him, I think he'll start peaking up like he did in the last couple of years. Now, this is the second goal that Højlund scored. The break was excellent, where Onana kicked the ball long, Eriksen took it, he drove through a couple of players and then passed it to Marcus Rashford. And then Rashford slides the ball to Højlund, who shoots it at the near post. It was a howler from Diego Costa, the keeper of Porto. But still, you have to acknowledge the effort, and it was a very good goal for Manchester United that gave them a 2-0 lead just at 20 minutes. Things started to change after Højlund's goal, with FC Porto trying to put more pressure on Manchester United, trying to overload the box and try to put lot of crosses in. They were rewarded with a goal from Pepe and a goal from Omrodion, and these two goals happened in just a matter of under 7 minutes. Manchester United lost their advantage of 2 goals in under 7 minutes, and it was all due to defensive lapse from De Ligt and Martinez. I think both of them had a pretty poor game, to be fair. They were not able to handle the crosses that were coming up. They were not able to stand up to the physicality that Porto players were doing. So in total, I think they could have done a far better job, and Manchester United could have come back with all the 3 points, if not for the defensive errors. Now, all of the goals that Manchester United have conceded are all due to defensive lapses from either Martinez or De Ligt. They both had a very poor game. Now, if you see the second goal in general, the one that Omrodion scores with a header, you see that a cross comes in. You have Martinez and De Ligt, both of them trying to mark. There is only one player to mark. Martinez misses his, he done it, and then De Ligt has been put under pressure by Omrodion, which he suffocates to, and somehow, even De Ligt being in front, Omrodion is the one who is able to take the chance and put the goal at the back of the net. Now, I do agree to a point where it might be possible that it can happen to anyone, but this is an away game, a very important game for all the players and for Manchester United. They should be doing their best to make sure that they don't concede. They have just been hit with a goal just 6 minutes earlier, and to do that in another 6 minutes, I think it is not acceptable from the defenders. It's truly not acceptable. I know that a lot of people rate De Ligt, but this is not acceptable. You can see in the image here how Omrodion overpowered De Ligt. You see Martinez looking here, well, he had nobody to mark. He didn't even let this cross from coming in, and he's just left De Ligt to mark Omrodion, and he overpowers and scores the goal. And then we see another horrible piece of defending at the 50th minute of the game, where Omrodion gives FC Porto the lead again, and for Manchester United leading 2-0 in the early stages of the game see themselves 3-2 down. Now, if you see here, you see Martinez is trying to block the player from crossing the ball. He's not even able to stop the cross from coming in, or even to shake off the player to maybe stop, maybe let him go back, try to do something else. The player is easily able to cross the ball. You can see in the image here that the Dillet is in front of Omrodion. Now, ideally, you pace fast, try to kick the ball either for a corner or somewhere. You already know that there is a striker just on your shoulder, so you need to make sure that you stand tall or at least get to the ball before the striker does. But Dillard does none of that. He just goes in and slides, which Omrodion, he shoots perfectly, nothing to take away from his strike. He shoots at the top corner and gives FC Porto a 3-2 lead. But you see, there are two displays here where Martinez fails to stop the cross from coming in, and Dillet, even being in front, he knows that there will be a cross coming in, and he knows the defender, and he knows the attacker is already on his shoulder. Just stop the ball from coming in. Somehow make sure that you put in that leg, put in the tackle that deflects the ball. Let it go for a corner. Let the team regroup. But I don't know what was going on their heads. They are not able to do that, and he just does a stupid sliding tackle, which doesn't make any sense at that moment because he puts it on the top roof. Now, with that second goal from Omrodion, which gives FC Porto a 3-2 lead, the Porto and Omrodion were exuberant. Now, if you see in the last 6 games, he has 6 goals for FC Porto after joining in. He has been in excellent form. Now, after that, United did try to put a bit of pressure on FC Porto, trying to get back a goal and equalize it. But in the heat of the moment, Bruno Fernandes does something really stupid, where he high boots a player, which internally hits his head, and that gets him a second yellow and a red card for the game. And he is off at the 80th minute in the game. There were a lot of fans who were saying that no, this is not a red card. There were a lot of debate on Twitter, but I really have to say this is worthy of a second yellow. If you see the high boot that he has, it will be a yellow all day long, and he was already on a yellow. There was no need to put in such kind of tackle or such kind of attempt which could land him a second yellow. And then Bruno Fernandes does this. Now, if you have to understand, Bruno Fernandes in the last 242 games had 0 red cards, and in the last 2 games for Manchester United, that being the one against Tottenham and the one against Porto, he has got red for both of them. Even the one against Tottenham, now the Premier League committee had decided that he can be dismissed, but still this one will stand. But it's the second yellow, so I think he will only have a 1-match ban. But still, it did not help Manchester United in any way or form. And to be honest, it was really stupid to put in that kind of tackle. Now, Ten Hag did try to change the game by bringing the prodigal son Anthony and Zerski on, and in place of the defenders, he got Harry Maguire and Johnny Evans. He tried to put in more pressure on the opponent's half just to get that equalizer for him. There were a couple of good chances for Manchester United where one landed with Martinez, which he could not convert. There was one superb chance that Garnacho created for himself. He created that space and drive, and it was a very good save from Diego Costa, unlike the things that he was doing in the first half. So if you see here, he shoots the ball and Diego Costa is fully stretched, and if not for his hand, it would have really hit the top of the net. And then the unthinkable happens. In the 91st minute of the game, Harry Maguire stands tall and gives United the much needed equalizer. It's a beautiful header from Maguire leaping above the FC Porto defenders, and that is something that I really wanted to see from Dillet and Martinez, trying to stay strong when Porto were putting crosses in the first half. But Maguire does that. He does it on the opposite half of the pitch, and he gives United the equalizer I think they deserved. And Harry Maguire could have just saved Ten Hag's job, because I personally believe if he would have lost this game, I think he would have got sacked for sure. And on behalf of all the rival fans, I would like to thank Harry Maguire in making sure that United do come back with a point. We are all vouching for Manchester United to win, just to make sure that the Ten Hag remains in the job and the banter keeps going. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want that. I just want good for Manchester United. I want them to play well. They are a huge football club, and it's just painful to see. I have seen Arsenal suffer like this for years and years, and to be honest, it is not good for the fans and for the club. Now, these are some mind-blowing stats that I saw yesterday, where Manchester United in the Europa League, they have played 2 games, they have blown leads for both of them, and they have come back with a draw. And Manchester United have only won one of their last 10 games in European competition. So if you remember last season, they were playing in the Champions League where they got knocked out in the group stages. So they have only won one game in their last 10 games. Now, this is very bad, and things are really not looking good for Manchester United and for Eric Ten Hag as well. I think the most important person here is telling Eric Ten Hag if he really wants to keep his job, he needs to start changing a couple of things here, and he needs to start making sure that the player that he has bought, because he cannot say that it's not his team anymore. He has been backed, and there is a lot of money that has been put for Eric Ten Hag. He needs to start delivering. The United fan base, the club, and the ownership needs to start seeing results and more. If even if he cannot get results, we need to at least start seeing some performance, something that it shows where it is his style of play, the way he want to play. Right now, his style of play is not Ten Hag ball, but it's more like looking like a banter ball, and it's not helping Eric Ten Hag. Now let's have a look on what Eric Ten Hag had to say after the game. He said that we are in the process, just wait, when questioned about his tactics. He also said on Rashford, we have to rotate. On Sunday, we have another hard game. We need players to be fit and fresh. We had to play Garnacho. We got quickly to Villa. They will have an extra day to recover. So Villa played yesterday, so they will have an extra day to recover. But I think Marcus Rashford is just 26 years of age. I mean, what kind of rest are you trying to give him, where this is a do or die match for you and for your job? I'm not sure about the comments here. I don't acknowledge it. If it was something tactical, I could have still understood, but Rashford was playing well, so there is no point to take him off and give him rest. Doesn't fit with me. Then he says, don't judge us at the moment, judge us at the end of the season. I said the same thing last season, we will fight. He sure needs to start fighting a bit better. And then Eric Ten Hag was in full disbelief with his squad moving forward. Don't judge us in the moment, we'll wait until the end of the season, we are in the process. And then let's see if we have something else that he talked about. Okay, I really want to take your thoughts on this one. So this is Højlund, where he said that lucky I had 6 weeks to practice my celebration. This is something that he did after scoring the second goal for Manchester United during yesterday's game, and Zerski has a reply for it. Now, why would you put this when your team has come back from a point? So now, why would you put this when you know that your team has come back with a point where they should have won this game after leading 2-0 up? You're putting something that about your celebration. Now I know with a lot of the players in the younger side, they really don't care much. For them it's all about the social media and other things like that. But it just doesn't sit right to me. Like your team should have won that game. You already have a red card given to your captain. You have lost a 2-0 lead. And then on top of it, you're putting something on social media and you're saying that I was lucky that I had 6 weeks to practice this celebration. I mean, what nonsense is this? Maybe other people will like it. They'll say like, okay, no, he's still. But for me, I'm not that kind of guy, people. I really want him to show it on the pitch rather than just saying something on what kind of celebration he did. So that is the video then and there, people. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think Eric Ten Hag should change? Do you think Villa is a decider for Eric Ten Hag out or Eric Ten Hag in? He is really close to that. With Bruno Fernandes out, at least for the next game in the Champions League, do you think Eric Ten Hag should rotate, and who do you think he should bring in? So let me know what changes are required in Manchester United in order to get them firing the way they were before. So thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day.